Good morning once again. It is my great honor to welcome you all to the technical session of this 12th PIC International Technical Conference. Today marks the beginning of a dynamic and enriching journey as we come together to explore the latest development in engineering and technology. In this 12th PIC ITC edition, we are proud to highlight the 7 fields of specialization of the Philippine Institute of Civil Engineers, which form the backbone of the engineering community. Throughout this conference, we will dive deep into the challenges, innovation, and advancement within each of these fields. Together, we will explore new solutions to complex problems and share the best practice that can help us tackle the demand of ever-evolving world. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to all of the delegates, the speakers, and our guests who will be sharing their expertise with us today. Your contributions are essential to the success of this event and to the continued growth of our profession. Let us engage the meaningful conversation, broaden our horizons, and live inspired to make a lasting impact of our respective fields. I am excited for the knowledge, collaboration, and ideas that will unfold in this session. Thank you, and I wish you all the productive, insightful experience during this technical conference.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Engineer Jules, for opening this technical conference for this event at 12 ITC of the Philippine Institute of Civil Engineers. And now let's move on to the introduction of the first speaker for today. So may we call on our 2025 PIC EPSA PRO, Engineer Jojo R. Utram. At the same time, he's the moderator of this technical presentation.
Thanks a lot, sir, and to God be praised for giving us this wonderful day of 12th ITC International Technical Conference, and our gratefulness for all the delegates and participants, and the guests also, and the attendees as in general. And the next, our technical speaker for this day, he hails all the way from the Philippines, and I have a little chat with him, and I asked him, he is from Ilocos and Ilocano, and some he can speak also Hiligaynon. And in Ilocano, morning is Naimbag Nabigat. In Hiligaynon, this is Mayong Aga. For this day, our speaker is a civil engineer and a holder of a master's degree in business administration and a doctor of public administration. He is also the chairman and the CEO of the Paderna Construction Company Incorporated, established in 1993, the president or the chief executive officer of Test Consultants Incorporated, established in 1968, and some of his prominent government and international positions are the following. He is the administrator of the National Irrigation Administration in 2014 and 2016, the chairman of the Basis Conversion Development Authority in 2012 and in 2004, and concurrent chairman of and president of John Hay Management Corporation and Poro Point Management Corporation and Chairman of North Luzon Rail Corporation. He is also the Chief Technical Advisor for China and Mongolia, the World Bank, in 1990 to 1993, the Project Director, Department of Public Works and Highways, 1981 to 1989. He is the past president of the Philippine Water Works Association of PWWA and PWWA Fellow. He is also the National Vice President and Chairman of the Project and Construction Management Specialty Division of the Philippine Institute of Civil Engineers, or PICE, the past President of PICE Lungsod ng Manila Chapter, the past National Vice President of PICE and PICE Fellow. He was also awarded the Filipino Outstanding Civil Engineer by the PIEC in 2012. And also, a lot of accomplishments, no? Awarded by the 2015 awarded as 2015 Outstanding Professional in the Field of Civil Engineering by the Philippine Professional Regulations Commission, and currently for 2025 Outstanding Alumni Awardee of the Adamson University Alumni Association. He is an acknowledged water resource engineer and construction management specialist, and he wrote 2 books entitled Project Management and Construction Engineering in 2010 and Applied Construction Engineering and Management in 2023, and these were published by the Philippine Institute of Civil Engineers. Ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow civil engineers, and all the attendants, help me welcome Dr. Lorenzo F. Padernal. Welcome, sir.
Morning. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. I can relate with you, having worked in China for 4 years. China and Mongolia, actually. I worked also in Switzerland for three consecutive years, pero 1 month every year. So I know how it feels. Pero I know that you can relate also with me in my presentation, because you are the practitioners, you are the real practitioners. And I will want to discuss you a down-to-earth, very realistic, which we all of us experience. But I'll try to be fast on these things because I want to speak on many things. Itong problema sa construction, technical. We are connecting sa Zoom so para makasama sila. I'll be using this laser pointer which I use in construction as well. Malakas. See? Kung meron akong gustong i-highlight sa construction, tuturo ko lang yun tatakbo na yung mga workers para... Anyway, my topic is navigating challenges. There are so many challenges that we encounter actually in construction. Wala pa rin. Okay na. I think let's have better resolution by pwedeng patay nito.
So ano, against ano yung font? O yung ilaw. Color.
Pwedeng patiin lang mo ito para...
Naglabinaw ka Color blend ako.
Yung ilaw? Is it possible? Kasi I have good pictures to show to you. Well, anyway, let's not waste our time. So, my topic is navigating challenges in complex construction project management cases through multidisciplinary approaches. Sana walang mic kasi sa gitna eh. Sana you can ask questions later on. See, sana mapatay ito eh para makita natin ito mabuti. Kasi I want to distinguish yung analog design at saka yung BIM. Pwede? Pwede patayin na.
Kanina patay. Kanina pinatay. Kanina patay. Nung nagpicturan, hindi binubuhay.
Hindi natin makita mabuti ba?
Walang ilaw. Yung ilaw kasi ano yun. Hindi kanina nagpipicturan sa
Recording in progress.
Pwede?
Kanina nagpipicturan sa stage. Patay.
Wala pa.
Mayroong paper sa ano title? Ano title?
I want to do justice in this presentation kasi
I converting.
ang nangyari yan.
Converting yung recording sa Zoom. Ay, nag-automatic.
Actually, we apply also digital construction management now.
BIM pati navigating challenge in complex construction.
Let's just proceed. Actually, sanay tayo sa contour maps. Dito kasi panay contour maps. But if you use the BIM program, you can see the actual not only contour lines, but the actual situation. And this is para sa erosion and other things. Now, why am I presenting this? Because dito, it's satellite fed. Dito, you use a lot of drones. You use drone shots. Another example, ito na naman sana ang ganda sana nito Vice President. Patayin natin Ito, for example, is a drawing of a clover leaf. But in BIM, you can do it this way because these are actual shots. So the first challenge here is technology upskilling. How many in the Philippines really knows the use of a BIM program? We lecture BIM as a design tool, as a construction management tool, and as an operation maintenance tool. Now, we also have problems like planning constraints. Because if you notice, a lot of projects, yung right-of-way acquisition is not done immediately. You let the contractor do the right-of-way acquisition. It should be the government or the project owner should be doing the right-of-way acquisition. Yung inaccurate geotechnical data, we have experienced a lot of these things. I'll show to you one example later in the construction of a dam. Inaccurate hydrologic data. Ano ang effect niyan? Mga flooding situations. Permitting, very long processing and approval of permits. It's part of the bureaucracy. Design deficiencies, inaccurate shop drawings, pero you always, if there are inaccurate shop drawings, the contractor should be the one should be preparing the shop drawings and let the designer just review and sign and check and rectify as the case may be. Knowledge in new design programs as yung BIM which we want really to introduce this year and next year to our members in the Philippines. inaccurate and the like. Yeah. We have experienced this a lot in many projects. I'm reminded of a hydrological study. We are designing now a mining area, and it's very rugged terrain. This one is located in near Coronadal. It's in Tampakan, if you know that area. Now, you really need a lot of information before you can proceed in the design work. So there are so many challenges. Even labor is a problem. You know, itong skilled laborers, we don't have a lot of skilled laborers. Sinasama na lang basta, no? But sometimes we request TESDA certification. There are some construction workers which are not available in some localities because our project sites now are getting to be the remotest of the remotest, and we are linking islands in the Philippines now. There are so many bridge constructions linking two different islands, and then many workers prefer to work overseas for obvious reasons. Now, let's see. There is one project. This is a tunnel boring machine, and this is the borehole. That's the starting point. I don't like to mention names, but you know, this is a brand new tunnel boring machine. Pero every now and then, nasisira. So, how can you proceed quickly with the tunneling of 7-8 kilometers for transmission line, you know? So, there are solutions to it, but you invest a lot. There are so many problems with the tunnel boring machine. Shipping it, assembling, bringing it out sa customs area, and other things. This is the tunnel boring machine being used in Antipolo right now to drill 7 kilometers of pipeline for Manila water. Our company is doing the construction supervision. Now, I think this one you are familiar, but how many of our contractors are familiar with launching, setting up pre-stress beams? Or perhaps, you know, have you heard about nodular beams? Nodular, may butas sa gitna. Pero still very strong. It attains the same strength. It requires a lot of work because you have to assemble, you have to set it up, and then you bring up the, the precast beams, and then have to move from one area to the other. Pero there is a big advantage for this also. Wala ka ng formwork sa baba. No more. No need. Dito, you can, this one just moves. It moves and moves. So, meron din tayo mga ganito na sa Philippines, no? This is the North-South Commuter Rail. Ito used to be the North Rail. When I was chairman of North Rail, we removed 36,000 squatter families para magtuloy lang yung project. Ang ganda na. You see, yung launching, there are so many challenges, but how many are doing this? Now, it's aside from the North Rail, North-South Commuter Rail, they use this also in the construction of bridges. Right now, we have this, what's this? Iloilo, Guimaras, Panay. It will be interconnected. It's ongoing now. ngayon, there is an ongoing bidding also for the Cavite-Bataan Coastal Road in 6 packages. Yung first 2 on land, pero 3, 4, 5, 6 sa tubig. So, for an ordinary engineer to learn all these technologies is something else. That's why we want them to, we encourage the contractors doing sophisticated construction technologies to invite members of PIC so that they will be acquainted with these things. There is a next project which will be participating, the Laguna Lakeshore project. Ito na naman, parang ano yan, nakalagay sa taas. I think you have to wait for this. Bidding is ongoing. I hope that this will start this year. This is a dam project in Samar. You can just imagine certain sophistication. You need a lot of heavy equipment to work on these things. But the most basic here, even before designing, is the geotechnical study. They did all the technical studies, the geotech studies. Okay lang, 25 meters depth, mga ganon. Pero during construction, it turned out na there is an underground river, even after the 25 meters depth. So you have to redesign again. For this case, this is an earth-filled dam. And yung spillway pababa yan. So, ito, during the start of construction, you have to do the foundation work. Dito nila nalaman na there's something wrong, there's an underground river. Now, during the construction stage, there are so many problems that we normally encounter, including pre-construction activities, if these are not properly applied. Partial. Sometimes they just copy from other projects. The same holds true with yung safety program. They just copy. They don't know that there is big implication during implementation. Eh kung hindi responsive yung mga ginagawa mong mga health protocols, that's dangerous. Also sa construction management. So there are so many things that by the way, this one is included in our book, yung latest book. I gave 2 copies here. I left 2 copies. Let me just backtrack a little bit, no? Yung inadequate coordination at various levels. There are so many problems kasi coordination kaya various levels. There is a coordination work, as you might have experienced, between workers and the project engineer, the project manager. There is coordination work between your internal and external environment. There is coordination work between you and the employer. Coordination work with the government. So many things are going to be considered. Then, new technologies on project monitoring like BIM, Building Information Modeling Program, is not yet widely used. I tell you, there is, for project monitoring, we are used to work plan and S-curve. You have your activities, you have your timeline, and there is an S-curve. And at the bottom, you have yung accomplishments per year. You will see the negative or positive slippage. Ngayon, use BIM, after yung activities at saka yung timeline, to the left, it will tell you the actual situation. If you press yung a certain activity, activity number 4, it will show to you actual picture. So in short, pictures are documented. periodically and up to date. So that if you want to validate the S-curve, you can see actual picture also. Nowadays, you need a larger monitor as well. Yun lang. Anyway, delayed procurement of construction materials, especially if the materials procured overseas. And more so, another problem that many contractors encounter, if you do not inspect these materials from its source, for example in Vietnam or in China, and they will just deliver there, tapos may diferensya. It's a big problem also, very big problem. Because you cannot just return all these materials.
Hindi mo alam. Sino? Sayang mo charger doon.
Oh. Here, yung delayed deliveries, kasi we actually encountered this also, delayed delivery of tunnel boring machine. Because yung tunnel boring machine, pag isi-ship nila, it's part by part. And you still have to assemble them. So you need a very good curve from customs. Lack of quality management system. I know here, for example, in the Middle East, because we have reviewed a lot of specialists. Many of you here are involved in quality management. But in the Philippines, how many are really seriously using these things? That's another story. That's why if you are the construction management consultant, you really have to look for all of these things even before the start of construction. Mga preliminary information that you need that should be monitored during implementation. And then low processing of change or variation orders. Ano na lang yan. Pero it happens a lot of times. Minsan kasi yung appreciation of the information that you are requesting that should be changed, or the condition in the field that was not foreseen previously. That's another story. So, you simply have to really document it properly with lots of pictures or evidences if you want a faster processing of change orders and variation orders. Now, safety and health protocol, I mentioned this earlier. Then for traffic management, right now, itong Holy Week, I think they will start rehabilitating EDSA. So you can just imagine, matraffic ng EDSA, the more traffic it will be. And they will also be rehabilitating the bridge, the long bridge. So good luck. Inadequate data management. That is so important nowadays because before, sanay tayo sa resources, men, money, machine. Information is now a resource, a vital resource. How come that even in the military, in intelligence, they fight for information? Same holds true in construction. We need a lot of info. Then, yung waste disposal system. Well, this is normally encountered if you are digging the mountain. If you are constructing tunnels, ayan, problema yan. That's the reason why, even before the start of the project, you have to identify already yung disposal system mo. Saan ilalagay, you have to compute the volume that will be extracted and kung yung identified location is proper or not. Then the need for additional geotechnical study due to existing buildings above. This one happened, it's in our book. It happened in Singapore kasi they have multi-level rail tracks. And above, you have old buildings, and it vibrates, and it creates noise during construction. So, constrained working hours. I think in Manila, we encounter this regularly, especially if your consumption is within Metro Manila, and the neighbors, they are disturbed. 6 p.m., 7 p.m., dapat tigil na construction eh. Gusto mo magpa-overtime, it's also a major problem. Then, conflict management. There are so many types of conflict which I want to discuss later on, which should be properly managed. Well, let's see now. Aside from the constraints, let's discuss a few things. No? Leadership. You execute. What's this? You should have properly trained and experienced construction workers and project managers in project sites. That will help a lot of, it will solve a lot of problems. Then apply resources management. Well, I hope you know the principles of resources management. It's also included in our book, you know. I recall we constructed 7 bridges in Bohol, Maytiga, Bohol, Barito. Magaganda naman. Wala pang nasisira. We went around Bohol, walang pumasa na aggregates sa lahat ng mga bundok sa Bohol. And we were able to get only the right type of aggregates for the bridges in Ormoc City. So we have 2 barge, very big barge na may kasamang backhoe, loader sa barge na yan. So you can just imagine how big. And it's a continuing thing. Then, assign document controller and process engineer. Sometimes, yung project manager o yung project engineer, maraming iniisip, maraming ginagawa. So what we usually do is to include a process engineer that will be responsible yung lahat ng steps in construction. Then next is awareness of internal and external environment by the construction team. Because, you know, internal environment pertains to things that you can control within your powers. Ang external includes politics. Can you control the politicians? So it includes yung sourcing of materials if it's from far-flung areas. So it requires leadership really to do all of these things. Well, this is resources management, the concept of resources management and how to do it. We included this also in our book. Yung preparedness, you know, yung organization management techniques, lahat ng problema pertaining to construction workers, it's just applying the concepts of organization management. So, this is very important if you are looking at the viewpoint of a project manager or project engineer. Minsan, hindi niya masolve yung problema niya by himself. So, he has to rely on home office support or even management, the owner of the company, so that you should be complementing each other to lessen the problems being encountered in the implementation of projects. Then, technological updates, technical solutions. Ang mga ito, tayo sa PIC, that's the reason why we have RTCs. We try to impart many new technologies. Kasi yung isang message ko sa RTC na it's not just getting the desired points para sa renewal of licenses. It's really for you to learn to appreciate what the speakers are saying kasi they are not there just to speak, but They want to communicate with you. They want that you learn out of what they are talking, you know. Then, knowledge on construction management is essential. Well, I just cited two examples here: hazards control and risk management. We also discuss in many conferences futures. What's the future of the civil engineering profession? Actually, if you discuss itong hazard control and risk management, that's part of future. Because in a project setting, you project what will happen in the project site that is assigned to you, in the project that is assigned to you. So, kung dito, for example, if it is rugged, mountainous areas, you should know exactly what are the things that might occur or happen. Yung risk involved is very crucial. I just projected here the discussion of project management, relating project development cycle and construction management. And at the middle, you have the resources. And what's the final output? You implement the project on a timely manner, cost-effective, as well as the desired quality. Now, this is risk management. I came out, this is part of ISO. You have to demonstrate what you should be doing in every activity. I know that I'll not explain this because you're applying this already in your projects. Sa contract management, ang dami nagkakamali dito, you just copy your contract. In the end, if there are conflicts, problema mo yan. That's why do not just copy contracts. You prepare contracts based on actual situations. Then ensure a responsive project management must be adhered to. And then there are practical approaches, no? Alam na ba ninyo ito, Godfather concept? Yung patronages. Kung nagka-problema ka sa project site na hindi mo na kayang i-control, hanapin mo na lang sino ninong niya eh. Kung sino yung may kontrolado sa tao, yan eh. Kausapin mo yun, siya na lang bahala mo eh, pag-uusap eh. These are the practical solutions actually happening in the field. The other one here, hire a reputable and experienced consultant to navigate issues, problems, and challenges. Minsan, yung project owner, pinapasa na lang niya sa construction management consultant. Eh, bahala na yan. You solve it. That's your profession. Yan ang trabaho. So that's the essence of this one. Then effective coordination. I place here periodic coordination at various levels is essential and indispensable to resolve these problems. Yung very basic natin toolbox meetings, yan it addresses yung construction workers. Pero in coordination, it goes beyond toolbox meetings. Kasi you have to understand that you have to report to the project owner. For example, be it private or government, there is a project owner. So you have to properly coordinate with them. And lastly, you should know how to coordinate with the government. Kasi whether you like it or not, you have to deal with the government in the implementation of complex, multidisciplinary projects. I think that's all. Thank you very much. Kasi preparatory yan, before you construct, you should know a lot of information. You should have your own information. By the way, nowadays, sa consulting company, we use one person, ang pangalan dun, document controller. Dito ba, are you using that person? Document controller? Are you do that? That's very important kasi centralized ang information system eh. If you want something, punta ka lang sa tao, you don't have to talk to so many people eh. So we have institutionalized that already in our project. Then inadequate construction project management. Ang construction project management usually done by the contractor